But having passed the JAMB, I was already in the bank and I've earned 2 months salary. And my salary was about 241. The first salary was 241 naira. And it was big money in 1980. So I thought to myself that I'm already comfortable. I won't go to the university again. And so when JAMB result came and I passed and admission came out, I hid the newspaper publication, because I didn't want to go to the university, because I thought I was comfortable. Until a man from my village who I used to help clear checks in the bank saw the name and insisted that I should go. He came back to the bank 2 weeks after and he still saw me and he decided to approach the bank manager. The bank manager called me, and insisted that I should go to school. Welcome back, viewers. I told you I did the entrance exam to the university, but I never bothered to check my result because of my circumstance. Shortly after that, after graduating from secondary school, I went to visit an uncle in Kano in 1980. And my uncle encouraged me to re-register for JAMB, and I did. And my center was the Federal Government College in Kano. But while JAMB was pending, I was walking on the street of Kano, Bank Road specifically, and I saw an advert in front of Bank of the North looking for accounts clerk. And I went into the bank and I sought to see the personnel manager. The personnel manager asked me what I was looking for. I told him I was looking for a job. He asked for my credential and I showed him my YX certificate. And the man told me, "You are not the kind of person we are looking for because you will not stay." I say, "Why?" Say, "Your result is too good to be working here. Go to school." And I started crying. "I have no money to go to school. Can you help me?" So I stayed there. I refused to go out. After some time, grudgingly, the man said I should come back tomorrow. And I was given an appointment as a Senior Accounts Clerk by Bank of the North. And I was posted to Makurdi. In Makurdi, I was the smallest, the youngest. And so people were wondering what brought this young man, to the bank. Just barely 2 months into the bank, it was time to write JAMB. And coincidentally, that was the day, that period was the period the National Road Transport Union was on strike. So there was no transport to go to Kano to write JAMB. And I walked from across the river to North Bank and stayed there up to 4 p.m. No vehicle to go to Kano. And somebody advised me to go to the main town where the Makurdi Center. I went to Mount St. Gabriel Secondary School. It's a Catholic priest who was the principal of the school. I approached him and the Catholic priest said, "No problem, come the following day." And I went, and the man wrote a note on my script, "Special candidate." That was the JAMB that I passed. But having passed the JAMB, I was already in the bank and I've earned 2 months salary. And my salary was about 241. The first salary was 241 naira. And it was big money in 1980. So I thought to myself that I'm already comfortable. I won't go to the university again. And so when JAMB result came and I passed and admission came out, I hid the newspaper publication, because I didn't want to go to the university, because I thought I was comfortable. Until a man from my village who I used to help clear checks in the bank, saw the name and insisted that I should go. He came back to the bank 2 weeks after, and he still saw me, and he decided to approach the bank manager. The bank manager called me, and insisted that I should go to school. My intention was remain in the bank, go and do diploma in banking in ABU, and then continue my banking career. So finally, I had to leave, to resign, and I went to the University of Jos. 3 days to matriculation. 3 days to matriculation. But thank God things were working at that time, and help right, left, and center. I was able to register, and everything was done, and I was able to matriculate. Some courses were even finished, and the Lord helping me, I was able to pass the 100 level, and throughout my 6 years training, I didn't have any challenge academically. So university education, yes, medical training is quite intensive, but still, yet, one was involved in FCS just casually, casually, not really too involved. You go once in a while. I was fellowshipping, in town, the Ep3 church in terminals in Jos. And, it was just like a casual whatever. We're just good Christians, not really going into any, doing anything that was evil, but the real, accepting him and serving him and knowing him closely what was in there. But during my first year in the university, I was baptized. I was baptized in the village. The village baptism was no big deal because nobody really explained much to you. And so I was baptized, taking Holy Communion, but life just continued like one of those normal, lukewarm Christian. You are not drinking alcohol, you are not doing anything, but you are just a normal church goer. And university education was fine. The Lord helped me. One of the challenges I would have had was in 100 level, because some courses, as I told you, had, they finished the courses before I registered. And in fact, one of the courses, zoology course that I entered, the first day, that I entered the class, a lecturer was giving end of posting, or what they call end of semester test. And I told him that day was my first day in the class. And the man called me out, and drew a big 0 and put a dot, say you will get 0. And I was, what is happening to me? That God did not bring me here to disgrace me. And so I spent sleepless nights copying notes, and doing all sorts of things, asking people who were there before me. And, but as the Lord will have it, out of all those of us that were in 100 level, I was one of the few, the very few, that passed from 100 level to 200 level without a receipt. There were people who were there for remedial studies. So many of them had a repeat, and many of them had receipt. In medicine, you don't carry over. So it's either you repeat or you are withdrawn. And so that is how God helped me through 100 level. 200 level up to the final year was smooth. And in fact, in my final year, I was one of the very few people that were selected, to do an outside posting in the UK because of performance. There was this pediatrician, Professor Fadansi from the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, who was a visiting lecturer in Jos, and he took particular interest in some of us. And so when we were to do elective posting, he got positions for us outside Nigeria, and we did some elective posting even as students in the UK. And so by and large, life in secondary school, the university was good, despite the fact that I did not actually actively serve God, but God, was interested in me. He was just following me up to see the period that I will fully surrender to Him. And so I came out of the university without any academic issues, without any problems. That is how the university education went.
Hello viewers again. Have you ever seen a more reluctant university candidate? 241 naira. He thought he had the whole world in his pocket. Those of us who are from villages, bush people, coming into that kind of money for the first time, you thought you've arrived. You have not arrived anywhere. I told you about destiny helpers. A customer in the bank went and reported him to the manager that this boy passed to go and read medicine, University of Jos. He's hiding here. He doesn't want to go. Have you ever seen a more reluctant university candidate? But the question I will ask you is this: why was that man persistent that he should go to school? The normal reaction will be, okay, all right, he doesn't want to go to school. Maybe, he wants to be a banker. Just leave him. Why report him to the manager? By the way, why was the manager of that disposition to tell him go to school? That's a better choice for you. Destiny helpers. The unseen finger of God directing the destiny of a man to where God wants him to be. Are you listening to me? There is God. His interest is always to take the lowest of the lowest and take them to the pinnacle. Destiny helpers. Did you hear of the professor, pediatrics, from University of Lagos, who helped them, this exchange program, even as students of the University of Jos, to go abroad? Only God. Only God. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. You will have a story to tell. You've seen one testify after another, one testify after another, who would never have become anything in this life. But they decided on an encounter. One of the things I would like to say, for those of us who are listening, we may be in ministry, but preaching the word of God without giving people the opportunity to react or to take a decision for Christ, you are wasting your time. Dr. Labi would have become a Christian in secondary school if, as they went to church every Sunday, somebody challenged him to give his life to Christ. In many of these schools, you come in and they assume that you're a Christian already. It's not like that. It's not like that. Going to church and living a moral life will never take you to heaven. You have to have a personal relationship with Jesus. And this is what our episodes are all about. Not everybody will have the Damascus Road experience. But you have to know Jesus. And preachers, please give people opportunity to react. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Please subscribe to this channel. We have many stories that are coming on. Be a subscriber to what we're doing. Forward these clips to your friends. You will see what God is going to do in the life of this man eventually. Thank you for tuning in today, and God bless you.